capital investment that we're going to see, not just in the energy transition, but also in replacing the infrastructure. I know you spent a lot of time in the book talking about the impact on commodities and metals prices in particular. Can you explain why you're so, I don't know if bullish is the right way, but why you think it's going to be, I think at one point you said we're headed to a new commodity or metals super cycle. So can you maybe explain the dynamics there?
Yeah, absolutely. So then as a bank, we clearly believe in this transition that Koen has talked about. But of course you have to do it also, I guess, in a more or less realistic way, because we can all say, okay, we want to save the planet, but we have to look at the consequences. And if you look at the consequences, well, if you replace oil and gas by electricity, you move from big oil to big shovel, as we put it, well, you will need a lot of all these materials, all these metals. And okay, we had in the book a preview done by Bloomberg for the next 25 years in terms of demand for all these metals. And okay, if you make a prediction over a period of 25 years, you know it will be horribly wrong. It could be double or it could be half. And also the composition of the bars could be totally different, because nobody knows. I don't know what the battery of the future will look like. So it's very well possible that you have less cobalt and more nickel. It's very well possible that you replace lithium by sodium, for example. So the total amount and also the composition will be unclear. And we feel the safest about copper still, because if you want to replace, you want to transport electricity from point A to point B, you still need copper today. So it's, in my mind, no big surprise that the copper price is going up. But there is a huge demand coming up, and I would call it a wall of demand. And then on the other hand, you do not have enough supply. The biggest copper mines in the world are being closed down. You have problems to get permitting done. You have problems to get investments done. So according to estimates, you need about 200 new copper mines over the next couple of years, and you just are not going to have them, because even if you were to decide today, we're going to invest a massive amount, it will take you 7 years, 10 years, even more, to get the first ounce of copper out of the ground. So this is not a black swan. This is not the COVID pandemic. This is not the war in Ukraine. There you could say, and even we could debate that, that's something that fell on our head and we could not know. But if you put demand and supply for a lot of these metals together, well, I do not see how this is going to happen. And I think this market will balance only at much higher prices. So this has massive consequences for inflation, for example, for consumers, for companies, to the companies we talk to each and every day. We say if you use these metals or whatever commodities as your input, hedge them, make sure that you're okay with the supply and that you're okay with the price, more or less. As investors, well, this is a massive opportunity. One of the ways to benefit from the AI revolution, the electrical revolution, and also the climate transition, well, it's just investing in these commodities, because I think, and if you look at the recent future, in the salts you have the cocoa and then you have the coffee and others, that's more climate change. But all the hard commodities, the metals and so on, that clearly has to do with the electrical revolution. And in my mind, that's only the start of it. These prices will be way higher, and of course they will be also way more volatile. So at a lot of banks, including our bank, then they say, okay, it will go up 10 or 15%, and then the price goes up 10%, and you increase by another 10%. Well, I think I have a target in the book of about doubling. And not so long ago, most people say you're absolutely crazy. But now we're seeing new highs, so I think that's very well possible over the next couple of years.